Hello everyone, Jose Morales here, making my post for this week's discussion. So the first question was include a reaction to the first link that reported even individuals with learning-based goal orientations basically don't like negative feedback. So it was somewhat surprising because you might expect individuals with learning goal orientation to receive feedback during performance appraisals more favorably as opposed to performance proof goal orientation. However, this study found that essentially both groups reacted unfavorably to critical feedback. Um, so in the article, it was stated that by Satoris and her collaborators that employers can consider these findings as a sign that they should better understand individual differences that influence reactions to performance appraisals. So the way I understood this was that there might be more significant factors or attributes of the individual that would more significantly impact the way that they um, handle or the way that they react to critical feedback. Um, a possible reason why in this study both groups were found to react unfavorably to critical feedback is because some might agree that generally people don't like to be talked down to. Meyer stated in his article in 1991 that the appraisal feedback interview is a very authoritarian procedure, a parent-child type exchange. If the performance review that was done in this article was conducted in the traditional manner, um, it may be likely that most people, you know, uh, would not uh, react favorably to a critical feedback if it was done in this so-called, parent-child type exchange, as Myers put it. In the same article, Myers recommends a performance review discussion in the place of a traditional performance-based review. He described so in his article he said a performance review discussion based on the subordinate self-review fits an involvement oriented climate much better than the traditional top-down performance review discussion. It also has the advantage of forcing the manager into a counseling mode rather than serving as a judge. Research has shown that performance review discussions based on self review prove to be more productive and satisfying than traditional manager initiated appraisal discussions. Um, Basically, what he is saying is that this type of review is based on a client first doing a self review and then the manager having a sort of discussion about this the employee's self review. Um, so this kind of this sort of performance review discussion may or may not, if it was done in this same study, it may have produced different results than what was found. Um, let's see. The next topic was, what are your thoughts on online versus paper pencil forms of assessment, and is it better to remove human bias out of the equation? Um, so in the second article, the findings were that employees rate with the online version reported significantly higher levels of rater accountability and employee participation than employees rate with the traditional instrument. They reported no different in perceived security of the rating, utility of the ratings, or satisfaction with the performance appraisal. Online employees report significantly lower quality of for the uh, performance appraisal ratings than traditional employees. Um, so employee and managerial self-service would provide speed, I believe, and also convenience. It would help eliminate paper waste and provide a much more efficient way of filing or archiving these appraisals. Um, they would provide, in the same way, that they would be archived. It might help employees to be able to look back at their rating and keep track of their progress. Um, One possibility for the report of lower quality of the performance appraisal, as the article argued that some managers or employees may have experienced a sort of learning curve. Maybe they were not used to using the system. They're not used to using technology, so this may have impacted the quality of the appraisal, or they may not have had the best experience with the during the appraisal. The article also touched upon the fact that as some organizations become more technologically advanced, and the employees become more, technologically savvy, these perceptions may change in the future. So number two, um, oh right. So to touch upon human bias, so it does seem that from what I gathered, the online performance appraisals would kind of formulate the assessment questions or the items based on the job description. So this would help to create a more structured and standardized appraisal. Um, I think that it is important to eliminate as much human bias as possible. Um, so you might have this kind of online performance appraisal might help avoid sort of open-ended assessments where the employee or I mean the employer or the rater might make a list of what they believe to be the strengths of the program or the organization. So yeah. So number two, how is performance appraised at your current job? So I recently had an appraisal actually. So it was a face-to-face meeting with the supervisor where he kind of reads off an assessment sheet that he had pre-filled. Um, so the supervisor he supposed to go through each rating and just kind of tell me if I was from, I think it was from a 1 to 5. So 3 was where you're basically doing your job, not at below or above average. It's pretty much average. um, and then number 3 was to critique the method of performance appraisal. um, so honestly, after reading these articles, I see the importance of the appraisal, and I wouldn't say that my appraisal was very helpful or productive, because it felt sort of rushed. He didn't really, my manager did not exactly take the time to go through each question, or each assessment, and kind of explain where I was. Not that the appraisal was unfavorable to me. It was actually a good appraisal. Where he told me where he didn't have any concerns, and he rated me higher on two measurements. I forget what it was, the time management, and I forget the other, attitude, I think it was. But I think it would have been more helpful if he took the time to go through each question and just kind of explain where I was as an employee. So that's pretty much it for me. Thank you. Bye bye.